Hello. Hello, Racy readers, Racies. We are here in the Racy Reads party room. It's Reese Rand, a Racy Reads party room author, and Angela Anderson of
Hey
Angela Anderson
guys!
Presents. And we are kicking off this. Are we calling if this is officially the after
The
party?
after party, yes, Reese. First of all, it's after 7 p.m. Well, depending on where you are, we on the East Coast, so
Yeah.
it's after
It's
7
after party
p.m.
because, like, at 2 o'clock today, we had a virtual book release kind of chat where it was me, Karen Booth, and Joss Wood talking to Shay Baby, who, we talked about the series, the Moonlight Ridge trilogy, which is where my book, Just a Little Married, that we're celebrating the release of, is, yay, is from that trilogy. It is the conclusion to the trilogy. It's book 3, and I'm so excited about this trilogy period. So we had that chat earlier today. So that was like the virtual release party. So this is the after party.
The after party, yes.
So make sure
And
you bring your adult beverages and or whatever it is that you would like, and relax and get to know some amazing authors. We have a great lineup of people tonight.
yes, exactly, exactly. And boys and girls, y'all know I say boys and girls. First of all, I'm excited. I'm hyped up because Reese just said it's the after party. Okay, so like she said, grab your beverages, grab your, if you have a copy of the book already, we are going to have a blast. Y'all know how we like to do it. Reese, I feel like we need some music because we partying, all
That
that good
would be
stuff.
nice. Yes, like music is always playing in my head anyway, and and as you know, music is in every book I write. There's always some scene where it's dancing or music or something that's happening with music. So yeah, in my head.
I love it. And I feel like, how, like, sometimes it's like, we were younger or what have, we're not going, we still young, but, like, where the party at? Where the
Youngish.
party at? So, boys and girls, tell your book nerdigans everywhere to get over here on the Racy Reads page because we are celebrating Just a Little Married, guys, which is the 3rd book in the Moonlight Ridge trilogy. So you can see why Reese and I are like super duper excited.
Yeah.
And throughout the day, we'll go through the lineup as well of who all is going to be hanging out with us. But guys, you have from now until 10 p.m. Of lots of fun. So Reese, we're gonna just talk about, we just gonna kind of like talk at the after party, like we kind of like over in the corner, like spilling the tea, all that good stuff. Okay, so Reese, tell us your fans or what have you, what was the experience like in being a part of this amazing trilogy? Because you guys, I mean, just the chemistry that the 3 of you guys have, and the connection. And guys, if you haven't read all 3 books, oh my goodness, let me just tell you. Okay, start with Homecoming Heartbreaker by Joss Wood, and then you got Best Laid Wedding Plans, Karen Booth, and then oh my goodness, guys, Reese Ryan come and, like, how you like having, and she just kind of like ties it up in a neat bow or whatever. It just kind of brings the conclusion to it. So what was that experience like working with these ladies?
It was really awesome to do this. We've all worked together on projects before because we all write for Harlequin Desire. And so we did one that was like the Dynasties. There was a 4-part, it was a quartet. And we worked on the Texas Cattlemen's Club before. What was so nice about this is with those projects, we have a story Bible that's given to you by the publisher. I mean, you have a lot of leeway in terms of creating the characters and adding stuff to the story and everything, but you do have to stay within certain parameters. And in this experience, we were creating it 100% from scratch. Yeah, Joss Wood is the one who actually came up with the idea for us to collaborate together. She asked Karen and I about it while we were in New York at in RWA in 2019. And so we were at the pizza place eating, chilling, and we're talking about like possibly doing something to collaborate together. And almost from the beginning, Josh had this idea about them being foster brothers, and it kind of went from there. But it was so much fun because I just love and adore both of them, and I love their writing and their styles, and we just get along, and stuff. So it was just so cool to just kind of spitball the whole idea and figure it out along the way, until we came up with these stories and these individual heroes and heroines that we were all writing, and just it just all came together. So I love this series, this trilogy so much. And I am so excited for people to read the entire thing. Like that's the first thing I did when I got my copies of the books, was like I sat down, I waited till I got the third one until mine came, and then I sat down and read them from beginning to end. So I loved it so much. So, and I have been warning people, like, even if you think you just want to read my book, you want to read the entire trilogy, because like you'll get so much more. I mean, they're standalones, all of them, of course, but you'll get so much more out of it if you read them in order. And if you read mine and then decide you want to go back and read the rest of them, then you can be mad at yourself because you will find out all the secrets and stuff. So yeah, it was so amazing, and it's so fun. So yes, I hope people read.
I love it. And Reese, I don't know if you know it, but you are like glowing. Okay. And guys, Reese is telling you the truth. This trilogy is amazing. All 3 books. Like she said, you definitely want to start with book 1, book 2, and then of course Reese's book as well. But if you just so happen to read Reese's book first, definitely go back and read the other 2. You can hit yourself on the forehead afterwards, because we are warning you to tell you that as well. And I'm glad that you guys were able to do this particular trilogy. Now, Reese, tell us a little bit about Just a Little Married, just a snippet for those that may not have read it. Give them kind of like a little summary of what this book is about.
So, Just a Little Married is about a philanthropic investment heiress who needs to get access to her trust fund. And so she proposes this marriage of convenience that will benefit both her and him, to her first love, who is now this super hot celebrity chef and restaurateur. And so so she proposes this to him, but he still is holding a serious grudge about how things ended between them when they were teenagers. So, like what can go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? But it was just so fun. Like I love their personalities so much. And the other thing I love about writing this book was because I'm big into family dynamics. And so it's a second chance romance. It's a marriage of convenience and a second chance romance, and kind of enemies to lovers, because they start off kind of as enemies, so you got really all 3 of those things going. But it's also a second chance romance with his family, because the brothers are estranged, and they haven't, because after this accident happened in high school, that really, really affected Travis's life. And so, they haven't really been getting along either. So over the course of the past few months, because their father gets has an illness, and so then they're forced to come back to Asheville, North Carolina, where they were raised at this used to be Lux Resort, and they're there to help their father nurse back to health, but also to help save the resort that their father loves so much, because it's in need of some help. So while they're there, they rediscover, they get redemption, but they also reconnect as a family, and then also find love. So it was just so much fun writing that.
I love it. And Reese, we got some people hanging out with us. We got Ruby hanging out with us. We got author Carolyn Hector hanging out with us. Jennifer Copeland, guys, thank you so much. Tell a friend, like, tag, and share. Guys, this is the after party, okay? We don't need no music. We are celebrating
I'm
with
glad you said that, because I was totally forgot. I mean, because where we are, I didn't see the comments on the other side. So hi, Siobhan.
Hey guys, and guys, of course,
Jennifer.
if you have a question or comment, put it in the comment section. Come celebrate with us. We are going to be celebrating from 7 to 10 p.m. There are some amazing authors who came out to celebrate with Reese as well. So definitely participate. There are games, prizes, all of that good stuff. I'll let Reese kind of go through who's going to be hanging out with us. And guys, even if you make comments on this particular post as well, Reese is giving away away a $20 gift card. There's a variety of things that you can decide how you want to spend that as well. So come chat with us, hang out with us tonight. Reese, you have that list of who is hanging out with us.
I do. So tonight for the party, we're of course, Angela and I kicked it off at 7. Karen Booth is going to be on at 7:30, 7:45. Joss Wood. Those are my fellow authors in the Moonlight Ridge trilogy. Then you have Sarah Taino, Kelly Jameson. I'm sorry, Sarah's at 8. Kelly's at 8:15. Naima Simone's coming on at 8:30. You know, Naima is always a good time. 8:45, we have Avery Flynn. 9, Rowan Parrish. 9:15, Jennifer Bernard. And 9:30 is Laquette. And then I will close it out at 9:45 p.m. And because we know there are a lot of races are international, the contest and what have you will be open until noon Eastern tomorrow. So, you know, you'll get a chance. I know, because especially with stuff like this, the contests and stuff, they fly by so fast. You know, it's hard to keep up with all of, but we have plenty of time to go back and, you know, later on to catch up, because everything will be held open until noon tomorrow. So
I love it. There you have it, boys and girls. Like I said, like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come and hang out with us here at the after party to celebrate the Moonlight Ridge trilogy. Guys, Reese Ryan's book, Just a Little Mary, dropped on today. The other 2 books, which is Homecoming Heartbreaker, Joss Wood, and then, of course, Karen Booth, Best Laid Wedding Plans, as well. That Reese's book completes the trilogy. Also, Reese, tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on at Love Sweet Era. Are there any more of those boxes available?
Yes,
or you know, they're sold out.
I forgot. And hello, Jonathan. Hey, and
hi,
Cheryl Brooks. Yes, and then if you don't give StreamYard permission, we can see your comments, but we can't see who you are. Like whoever said I need to do some shopping. I love it. I can't see your name, but if you go to the link in this description of this post on Facebook, you click that link, it'll take you to where you can give it permission, and then we'll be able to see your name and see who it is who said that. So, but yay. So yeah, Love Sweet Arrow. And first of all, if you aren't familiar with Love Sweet Arrow, it is a romance bookstore that's based in Chicago. And so there's only a couple of romance bookstores around the country. So Love Sweet Arrow is one of them. And so I often work with them and you know, send them signed books which they sell. So right now we have the Moonlight Ridge trilogy box set, which has all 3 of the paperbacks signed, as well as a bunch of other Moonlight Ridge themed things like a candle and, you know, refrigerator magazines and all this other stuff, and, you know, stickers and all this kind of stuff. So this in the box as well. So you can either get that there, or if you just want individual book signed, you don't want anything else, that's cool too. They sell those as well. So you can either get the individual signed books, 1 book or how many books you want. And you can also buy the box sets as long as the box sets are lasting. So yeah, so I'm excited about that. And I love seeing people open them in the pictures. It's so cool.
It really is. Oh my goodness. I know I saw a couple of people who posted on today when they received their box and all that good stuff. And guys, let me just tell you, it feels good to hold like all 3 books in your hand. Oh my goodness. And Reese, I'm cracking up because, okay, look, so Joss, she in her dedication, hers says, let me just tell you guys, hers says, dedicated to Karen Booth and Reese Ryan, my smart, talented, funny friends. Working with you guys is always a blast. Okay, so that's Joss. Okay, guys, now Karen says, and Reese probably know where I'm going with this, I was cracking up. For Joss Wood and Reese Ryan, my dear friends and Harlequin Design sisters, I love you both so much. Okay, boys and girls, let me just tell you. So Reese has, wait, let me find it. Okay, Reese have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. So if you've seen the 3 together, they say that Reese is like the detailed one, and Reese with just a little Mary, she got it to the word count, around 51,000 words. But I heard it through the grapevine that there was like 80 something thousand words. So that's about 30 something thousand words that made the chopping block. So as you can see, even with her dedication, Reese's detail. Reese, can you tell us a little about that detail and them 30,000 words that I'm looking for that made it to the chopping block?
So I mean, okay, so yeah, the 50,000 is the goal, and 51 is the absolute max. And it's just that, okay, so like when I got into it, I just started writing a story. There was just so much story. There's just so much, between the family. The brothers had issues. There was the past between Riley and Travis that I had to deal with. There was issues with, between Travis and his father, so it's just all this stuff going on. Plus, throughout the book, we've been trying to figure out, something's happening in the book that they're trying to figure out who the culprit is. So we got that going on. There's another romance happening in the background with, with their father. So all that stuff is happening. And so I have to like wrap up my story as well as the overall series stuff. So it just kind of got a little out of hand. And it did get to literally, I got up to 89,000 words. So
wow. See, Reese, what I should have told you was when you started this explanation, you were supposed to say, see, what had happened was.
And what makes it so bad is I can't even say, well, I didn't know how many words I didn't realize I was so far over. I knew the whole time. The entire time I realized I was over, but I'm like, the story's not done. But once the story is done, like I can go back and chop down and cut it to where it needs to be, but the story is not done. So
I love it.
I have a lot of deleted scenes that we're gonna be sharing later on.
Oh, that's so exciting. That is so exciting. Us readers, we definitely love to see deleted scenes or what have you. And so, Reese, with just a little Mary, because this is the after party, can you share just a little snippet with the people?
Yes, I will. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so this part. So the chapter before this, first chapter, is like when he comes back, and so it's his reintroduction to seeing his brothers. Well, he saw him before when his father first got sick, but kind of coming back home because he's home to stay for a few months. So this is where we kind of meet her, and she gets to see him. So, okay. Riley George greeted the valet warmly as she exited her luxury SUV and handed the man her keys. It was nice being back in Asheville, the eclectic mountain town where she spent most of her summers when she was young. During her 2-hour drive from her home in Charlotte, Riley couldn't help reminiscing over those fun-filled summers at Moonlight Ridge and the boy who captured her heart. But that had been a long time ago. Riley was in Asheville on George Family Foundation business, not for a stroll down memory lane. So she would focus on the gala she was planning and all of the good it would do for an incredibly worthy charity, not on the mistakes of her youth. She steps inside the enchanting little French restaurant, owned and run by Chef Henri Bernard. Henri had been the executive chef at Moonlight Ridge when her family had stayed there. 10 years ago, he'd left to start a restaurant of his own. When the event committee had decided to have the gala in Asheville, Riley jumped at the opportunity to take the lead on it because she knew just the man to handle the catering, Chef Henri. But Henri had called earlier in the week, insisting they needed to meet in person. So here she was with an uneasy feeling in her gut. Riley followed the hostess through the charming restaurant that reminded her of the little bistros she frequented during the summers in Paris during college. The scent of savory sauces, fresh baked bread, and mouth-watering meats filled her nostrils. Henri was seated in the private dining room with another man. The two of them were laughing. Chef Henri was still handsome. His salt and pepper goatee stood out against his warm brown skin. His shaved head was a good look for the gentle giant. It's lovely to see you. Henri's face lit up as he stood up and gave her a faire de bise, a traditional French cheek kiss. Thank you for agreeing to meet me here. Anything for you. She smiled at the older man who'd often spoiled her as a child with off menu creations made just for her. But I can wait until you're done with your meeting. Riley glanced at his scowling companion, still seated. Her heart leaped into her throat. She'd recognize that face anywhere, even if it wasn't a regular fixture on Cooking Network shows. The features of his face had been branded into her memory. Travis? His dark eyes flamed, and she could practically feel the anger radiating off his dark brown skin. Riley. The detached tone of the man who'd once been her first love sent a chill down her spine. Instantly, she reverted from the confident professional woman to the teenage girl who was torn between the boy she was head over heels for and her disapproving parents. You're not that girl anymore. Don't let anyone make you feel that way, not even Travis. Riley stood taller and offered Henri a warm smile that hopefully conveyed more confidence than she felt. I'm early. I'll grab a bite at the bar while you two finish up. She was in no hurry. She'd booked the hotel for the night. No need. I was just leaving. Travis pushed his chair back. No one is going anywhere. Chef Henri glanced between the two of them sternly. I invited you both here for a very important reason. All I ask is that you hear me out. So that's the where where they first encounter each other again after some bad blood. So
Look, I love it. I love it. Look, and Cheryl said she love a man who can cook.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I love it. I love it.
I'm always ending up writing dudes who cook. I feel like a lot of the guys that I've written have been men who cook. So it's no wonder eventually I ended up writing a chef, right? So
I love it. Look, no complaints here. I love it. I love a man that can cook too as a well. Look, there's a lot of fun that you can have with food, but we're not going to talk about that. We go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Reese, tell us, who is the most fun to write in Just a Little Married?
Oh, let me see. It's
and it could be more than one person.
I can't say it was one character that was fun because it was the banter. It was the banter between the two of them. So it was writing both of them basically. Somebody said that's why I stay with my husband because he can cook. I love it. I love it. So it was the banter between the two of them. So that's what I loved writing is that whole back and forth between them in the beginning, and then as they kind of their relationship develops, writing that kind of growing sentiment between them was just so much fun. So I love everything about writing this story, like the setting, being in this mountain resort, because we kind of when we decided we were going to do it, we wrote it almost as like feeling like if anybody's been to the Biltmore in Asheville, so like a miniature version basically of the Biltmore, kind of like thinking of it like that, where it was built in like this one was built in like the 1930s or whatever, and just that kind of thing. So it was so fun, like just doing that and doing the research about like buildings in that period. I'm like looking at all that, and so he's a chef, so I'm like doing all this research on food, and I'm gonna tell you that's a lot of what got cut too, because it was just like so much stuff with the food and stuff, like tastings of the food, because he's redoing the menu at Moonlight Ridge and stuff. So and like a lot of that stuff had to go. So I want a way to use them recipes.
I love it. I love it. And Reese, share with us, because guys, this is indeed the after party, and Reese and I, we're getting ready to turn it over to Karen Booth. But Reese, what are some of the things that you do like to celebrate like a new release outside of having the parties and all that good stuff virtually, of course, right now? But what are some things that you may do like at home to celebrate a new release?
Usually because at this point it's just like because at one point I was doing like 5 books a year, right? So I can't pick up and go on vacation and stuff every time so every time I do a book, and then and usually like right now it's release day and stuff, or yesterday was release day and it's release week, but I'm way behind on revisions for my next book, the Holly Grove Island book 2. So usually I'm ended up having to be in, working or something, but I usually do something like treat myself to like a meal or a little dessert or whatever that I really, really like. So stuff like that. Just a little
I
simple.
love
I
it.
just want to keep it simple.
I love it. I love it. Boys and girls, again, if you are just hopping on, Reese and I, we are kicking off the after party on the Racy Reads page in the party room. So that's what we're doing now. We're actually getting ready to turn it over to Karen Booth, who is next up. Guys, stay tuned from now until 10 o'clock. You have some amazing authors that will be hanging out with us. So, of course, tell a friend to come to the Racy Reads party room, hang out, celebrate with us the release of Just a Little Mary. We have now completed the trilogy of all three books. And Reese, before we log off, I'll let you have the last words of telling the people how they can help celebrate with us on tonight.
Hey, Carolyn, first of all. I'm sorry. What was your question again?
No, I'm just, we are getting ready to turn it over to Karen Booth. It's about her time. So I was going to let you have the last words of telling people how they can celebrate with us.
Oh, well, like I said, all of these amazing authors that I just named, from Avery Flynn and Naima Simone and Quet and just Karen Booth and Joss Wood, all these amazing authors are going to be with us, and each of them is going to have like a 15-minute slot where they're going to be sharing things about their books, because most of them have releases either recently or like this week. So they'll be sharing about their books. They're going to have gifts and giveaways and stuff, and there's a giveaway here. If you comment on this video where the two of us are talking or whatever, then there's a $20 gift card giveaway, and it's a winner. I like to do a winner's choice, and when it's over 5, and so it's a winner's choice gift card. So if you comment and you are selected, you will have your choice between the Amazon, Barnes and Noble, iTunes, or Starbucks gift card. So be sure to leave a comment for us here so that you will be automatically entered into that. And all of the contests that all of the authors are going to have is going to be open until noon tomorrow. So that'll allow for international folks and folks who work the night shift or, whatever, to be able to participate and stuff. So by all means. So definitely check out all the different authors, because they are all amazing, talented authors who you're going to love them if they're new to you. Make sure you find out who they are and follow them and stuff. So we'll have lots of fun. So,
Absolutely. And guys, if you haven't gotten a copy, you can go to Love Sweet Arrows, www.lovesweetarrows.com. You can actually get all 3 books. They actually have a box set, or you can buy the books individually. Amazon, Barnes and Noble's, Harlequin website, Reese Ryan website. All of those places you can get your copy. So thanks for hanging out with us to kick it off. And Reese, it is time for Karen Booth.
I know. Thanks. So thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Take care. See you later.